What's going on, guys? Tyler here from Standout Social, and today on this video we've got a very special guest, a long-term client of mine, Brandon from Fearless Fitness. Probably gave you a bit of an intro, but how you doing, man? Thanks for jumping on.
Absolutely, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Look, obviously gave you a bit of a pre-roll, but let's go into a bit of details before we kick off and tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, for sure. So I own group personal training gym called Fearless Fitness here in Connecticut, specifically up by Massachusetts. Two locations right now. Been in business for about a year and a half, so relatively new. We offer group personal training, small group training, one-on-one training, boxing, conditioning, very functional hybrid-based training. So not your typical CrossFit, not your typical boot camp, very hybrid-based stuff for all fitness levels, all walks of life, anywhere from 18 to 60 years old. So we kind of cater to everybody.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And hasn't always been two locations, that's for sure. It's been quite
Yeah.
hard. But look, like I said, guys, Brendan and I have been together for a long time now, and he's got a great gym out there, and a gym can only grow as good as obviously the results it gets, and there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes as well. But look, before we get into some of the results that we've actually been able to generate, and where things are at now and what the future holds, because there's a lot of exciting stuff in the works as well, which I'm really keen to talk about. But tell I guess anyone that's watching this how we came across one another. Like, how'd you find me? How'd you find Standout Social? And fill us in.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing was before I created this brand, I was in a partnership with another gym and another brand with a partner of mine, and we opened it, and I did all the marketing, and I still coached 40 hours a week, and I still ran the day-to-day operations and the payroll and just, everything that comes with everything that a gym owner does. And I was doing all the behind-the-scenes Facebook stuff, and I was always pretty good at marketing, but it just took so much time and effort, and Facebook always changed, and I couldn't keep up with the time. So at that point, I had got away from my partner, and I was opening up my own brand, and I knew that I just couldn't do it all on my own now that I was totally on my own. So I kind of just went out there and was searching for some marketing guys, and I was kind of dealing with the big box agencies, I guess you can say, in the beginning, and they just, it was terrible. They weren't there for me. There was no split testing. There was no changing. There was no conversations about, how to improve. It was just they implemented it, it was there, and that was it. So I wanted a little bit more of a one-on-one experience with the marketing guy, to kind of just help each other along the way, to work together. So that's kind of when I found out and met you through a group that we were on Facebook. And, from there, Tyler's basically been with me from every step of the way, from my first location, which was opened a year and a half ago. And mainly the only reason I was able to open a new location within 7 months and with, 3,000, 4,000 more square feet of my first one was because of Standout Social and just the marketing and the expertise and driving leads constantly through my facility. So, in the beginning, as a gym owner, it's you want to do everything because you always want to try to save a little bit of money, and you're just, you want to kind of just do it all. But it's just unfortunately not possible these days. And, you got to really find somebody who can work with you for marketing, because Facebook and social media marketing is everything for a gym owner.
Absolutely, man. Awesome. And I think when we first started together, you were quite fresh. Like, you didn't have many members. Like, I still remember you were looking at your founding 50 or something like that, weren't you? Like, you were still trying to get just people through the door.
We were just breaking, yeah.
So you reaching out to me, ad spend aside, management fees, regardless of the price, was going to send you negative, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep.
So why did you choose to let go still? Like, even if it was going to send you backwards?
I mean, the biggest thing was I knew I needed a little help. I knew how to drive people in the facility. I was really good with turnover. So I knew how, once that lead came through the door, how to migrate them and turn them over into an actual member. It was just my leads weren't constant. So one thing that, I was failing on was, doing ads myself, but then unfortunately not split testing properly, not changing things, not doing things on the back end of Facebook to make sure that they were running smoothly every day. And any of my employees that I tried to, manage and give them an opportunity to do that, they had no clue, so I really needed somebody that knew what they were doing to kind of take on that role, so I could spend my time more internally in the gym and focus on member retention and my employees and my program design and, just every bit of the day-to-day operations outside of, the Facebook marketing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of people out there that'll paint a pretty picture as well about, it's easy. It's easy to run ads. It takes a couple of minutes a day, and then you kind of do it, and you're just left thinking, huh,
No.
what the hell is going on? And you know, you don't really know what to look at. So look, I totally get that. Especially, I guess, one thing I want to touch on, knowing that you were going to go backwards initially and you still went ahead and did it. Like, what were your initial thoughts when working together? Did you have any kind of expectations, having worked with people in the past and stuff? Like, what were your kind of expectations?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta spend money to make money. I think my biggest thing in the beginning was when I went into my first location, it was in a very saturated market, as you know. So, there was 10 other gyms that do very similar style of training up and down the street, and about 4 to 5 just in my plaza alone. So, with my saturated market, obviously group training is group training, and there's only so many different things you can do internally to change things. So if I could change myself and be different with my marketing, that was the biggest thing. So, knowing that I had to spend this money not only on the managing side of things of my marketing, but also on the actual marketing, behind the scenes on Facebook, and, putting those two things together, you kind of take a hurt in the beginning, but, once those members come in, you turn them over to members, and you're spending money, you get 10 times your ad spend just by getting that one member over the 12 months and get them onto a contract. And, they're going, they pay you $1,300 or $1,600 a year. So, I have no problem spending XYZ on a marketing guy and then, all this money on leads when I know my return on investment is going to come right back to me once I sign that member up. And that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I think that's the real powerful thing with gyms, it's like, and this is what I explain to a lot of people is at the very beginning, yeah, it's going to suck. Yeah, it might be tough. Yeah, it might be out of your comfort zone, but given the continuity of of any gym, of any business model, of a 3, 6 or 12-month contract, and just knowing that the lifetime value is somewhere between 12 to 18 to 24 months, there's a lot of value in it. And long term, you're always going to win. Now, our goal, and I'm sure you knew, and what we ended up doing was about by week 6 to the end of month 2, we had pretty much cleared break even, right? Like our leads were coming in pretty much for free, because we had changed our pricing and our offering to the point where we had doubled what we initially started with in terms of our pricing. So we were profiting on the front end, and then the leads that we got in on month 1 then turned into lifetime members, or the 12-month contracts. So they were paying the bills, and then by month 2 and 3, it was all just pure profit, right? Free leads and pure profit.
That's it. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the first 30, 40 clients, really pay the overhead of the gym, the expenses, the payroll. And then after that, once you turn that, you're in the green. So you're paying off your marketing, you're paying off your ad spend, you're paying off your bills. So every new person that comes in is just money in the bank. So that's the biggest thing is, you have to kind of grind in the beginning, the first couple of months of the business. But if you have your marketing on point and you're generating constant leads, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing with gym owners where they fail is the constant new leads coming in, because for every 10 people that come in, or come in for a lead, maybe only 5 show up and then only 2 sign up. So, you have to get that constant roll of leads every single week in order to sustain a gym and then grow and then open another location and another location. I mean, it's truly the only way to go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's the thing, like when you get to a point and it's all pure profit. And that's what kind of leads me to my next question then is, like, where are you at now? Because you mentioned, obviously, you've now got 2 locations, and obviously we know what happened, but fill people in. Like, where are you at now, and what does the future hold because of what we've been able to do?
Absolutely. So, so we opened up the first location, 2,500 square feet, and just really working with the model that I knew worked, which was group training and personal training. And then, after about 7 months into that location, and it was a horrible build out. I don't know if you remember, but we didn't really have a great pre-sale because I couldn't open because of permits with the town, yada yada yada. So that stuff kind of set me back, and I missed the January rush. But 6-7 months in, we were profitable. The gym was making $6-7 grand in my pocket every month with the marketing, and we could have stayed with one location, but I knew that the only way in this industry is to build and grow and to make more money and, give people results and make everybody happy. So 7 months, man, I looked for my second location, and I didn't want to do it small again. So I was looking bigger and badder, and opened up another location about 20 minutes from my first one. Like I said, my first location is about 2,500 square feet. This guy's at 8,000, and we do everything in there, man. We have open gym time, personal training, group training. We have cardio machines, regular equipment, all functional equipment too. We pretty much have everything you can dream of. But a huge risk. I mean, the overhead and the rent was triple. My expenses because of open gym time and having, a trainer in there from 5:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night every single day, was a lot more too. So it was a big risk and a big jump for me. But, I knew I had you kind of by my side in the marketing end of things. And, you know, from there, I knew my internal stuff was on point and my trainers were on point. And then opened that location within the first year of my second. We opened that one in January of this year. So we're going on 7 months now of this second location, you know, doing awesome and just, you know, getting those leads in there every single day still and turning those people over. And then has now, you know, formed into an opportunity to, you know, get out of state here and possibly open up my third location in Texas through some different things and, you know, trying to get out of Connecticut and branch out and not necessarily franchise, but try to build this brand and the gyms, you know, somewhere else, somewhere different.
Wow.
So,
Reaching the level of scale, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And so what gives you the confidence to be able to go ahead and do that then? Like, obviously it's one thing to go ahead and open up locally, right? Because you got some market, they can tell their friends, you can get the referrals and the word of mouth and move some you know, original members to something that might be more closer to them. But, you know, moving to Texas of all things, like you're in Connecticut, that's quite a distance, quite a jump. So, you know, what gives you the confidence to do that like already?
I mean, internally in the gym, I know my program is on point. So I know like people are, you know, the biggest thing I think gym owners sometimes struggle with is actually maintaining members and retention and showing people results. You know, my gyms, we show people results. We don't lose members because they're always feeling sore and fatigued. They're always seeing results. They're losing pounds. They're gaining muscle. Like my nutrition plans, my program design, everything we do is just so on point. So internally, you know, we have a good process in place. And then externally with our Facebook marketing, we have a good process in place. So, you know, when you have all the processes set up, it's like, why not? Why can't we do this at another location? Why can't we do this in another state? You know, really, we have everything that we need. But it really all stems from my marketing. If I wasn't confident in my marketing and driving people through the facility on a daily, weekly basis. And, you know, these days, man, you can't rely on word of mouth anymore. And you can't rely on bring a friend week. And, you know, you can't rely on, you know, family memberships. Like you have to rely on your Facebook marketing to drive people in. And then that's what spreads the word of mouth. And that's what spreads the community is the more people that come in from there. So really the confidence stems first from my marketing. And then secondly, my internal satisfaction in the gym. So my program design and everything like that.
Yeah. And look, I think that's one thing. And I express that a lot with anyone that speaks with us as well is, you know, it's one thing to get people like to bring leads in. But at the end of the day, both parties need to come together. Like, you know, we can deliver leads, but if you can't close or get them results, they're not going to stay and have a good experience. Like that's the main thing that's going to separate you from your competition is, you know, what you offer after they've done the challenge. Otherwise they'll just bounce out and go to another gym because you'll never find one place that doesn't have competition. So, you know, the results is what's going to make people stay. That's essentially what they're buying.
100%.
But, look, I mean, as long as you're happy to go into it, of course, we've had a pretty good week this week. I think we've had, I mean, in across both locations, I'm going to go ahead and say we've probably generated around 20, 25 leads. Would that be about?
I'm going to say about 20, 25. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
So now with your system, because I know when we first started, you were the guy making most of the calls and you got some lady making the calls and the outreach and stuff. Now, how many of those, like on average, knowing your numbers will actually come in and how much would that equal in revenue for you?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, we probably right now, I mean, we're doing good now. I'd say before I'd probably do about 20 to 30%. So, you know, for every 10 people that come in, maybe I get 2 to 3 actually through the door to sign up on the challenge. I say now we're running about double that, if not more. So about 60 to 70%. So, you know, I'm getting 7 people out of every 10 to come in, actually buy the challenge. And, you know, our turnover on the actual challenge is great too, man. We're probably turning over 80% of those people, you know, who are coming in for the challenge. And, you know, as a gym owner, if you can turn over 50%, you know, of your leads that come through the door and you're getting good leads through that door, you're doing really good. So, you know, at 80%, we're converting awesome. And you know, and we just got to keep it up. You know what I mean? We can't be stagnant with it. So.
Yeah. And look, we've obviously got a few things in the pipeline that we can launch for you as well. But I mean, on that note, what's really interesting to note, for obviously anyone that's watching, you know, out of those 20 leads, I think, God, we wouldn't have spent that much. We've spent maybe maybe $300 if that across it. And, you know, the rate that you're converting them, you're going to make at least $600 back. So that's like a 2-to-1 on the front end. So essentially you're not paying for the leads and you're making money from the leads on the front end. And then when they sign up as members, it's all just printing money from there.
Yeah. My back end value is anywhere from 120 to 180 a month. You know, so you times that by 12 because you get a member under your year contract. You know, you're, like I said earlier in the video, you're making anywhere from 1,300 to 1,600 bucks a member over that year. You know,
Yeah.
times 10 is $10,000. You know, if not more, just on 10 new members that come in.
Yeah.
So your back end value and the return on investment there is that. Your front end, you're making money just on your ad spend, just because. And our challenge right now that we're running is a very low price point. So, you know, if we doubled that, then we'd be doubling our revenue on our front end. But, you know, for me, it's just about generating leads through that door. You know, getting people in, and, you know, our marketing and our style of marketing is very genuine to that consumer. So, you know, it's not like we advertise those free challenges and, you know, dive them in and then you have to run this orientation, You know, we do things, you know, promptly and correctly. And, you know, we're very honest with our approach to everything. And I think in the end, that shows us and my brand. That's how I separate myself as well, because I am genuine and honest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling people straight off the bat, you know, what the challenge entails, how much it costs, come on in, no commitment necessary. You know, it's very kind of laid back and chill, and it works really well.
Yeah. And it's really interesting, because I was going to actually mention that, you know, there's a wave going through at the moment, like good marketers, but there's a wave going through at the moment of these free challenges, these 6-week challenges. And you and I know that they're not free. And apparently there's been a wave of it in your area, and it's starting to come to Australian shores now as well. But, you know, why haven't you opted to do something like that?
Yeah. I think in the end, it discredits your brand, because what happens is, you know, people see it. You might generate a shit ton of leads. You might have a lot of people who actually come in to the facility for that first orientation, but then you're selling them on something that you lied to them essentially on Facebook. So, you know, you're saying free, and then it's $499. And if they lose XYZ weight, then they get their money back. So for me, it's, you know, just kind of disingenuous, man. It's fake. It's a lie. And I think in fitness, too many people see too many fake lies on, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. They see too much of the facade of fitness, where, you know, I want you to come in, I want you on a low price point for the challenge. I want to show you results in 28 days. I'm going to guarantee you those results in those days. And then I want you just to sign up on a membership. You know, nothing's held back here. We do a money back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, you know, your money back, but I know you will be. And I think it's the people who are not confident in their brand and in their gym that need to run challenges like that, because they need to get that promotion and they need to generate those leads on Facebook in that manner, because there's nowhere else, you know, they can't do it anymore. So it's almost like a last resort, I feel like, for most gyms. And just because they're struggling, they don't know what to do besides that. And it's very saturated. Like, man, I probably 8 to 10 gyms are running that stuff over here. So I see it every day, because, you know, yeah, so that's why it's another reason. Yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to, because everybody else is doing it. So I wouldn't do it anyways, but it's another reason not to.
Well, I mean, you think about it as well, your market, like these people are seeing the same kind of ads, the same kind of copy, because I know there's like obviously templates and stuff, and we're not going to go in and bash it because it's working and people are getting results and whatever, but it's what will happen sustainably long term is, you know, different story to talk about, but it's great because it positions you differently in a sea where everyone's going one way, or in a time where everyone's zigging, you're zagging, you're going completely opposite. They're saying free this, free that, and you're just saying, hey, here's a challenge, here's how much it is. You can give details and sign up for it or not. It doesn't matter. But in that same sense, these people are getting used to this challenge, and they know that free doesn't equal free. So when they see yours and they can see the value up front, they're like, okay, well, I know that that's not free, but this is like genuinely giving me the price, and there is no additional. And you've even told me before that people like the fact that there's no additional or no hidden costs or anything like that. So, you know, if anything, man, it positions you ahead of the others. And for anyone watching this, it's definitely something to keep in mind as well. If everyone is doing these free challenges or even free trials or a free day pass or a free visit or anything like that, try something different. Do what everyone else does. I know in the fitness industry, there's a lot of copycats because a lot of people don't know how to market. And this is one thing that really rubs me the wrong way, where I see so many people, they follow someone who they perceive to be doing well when they don't even know what's going on. And it's the blind leading the blind when it comes to their marketing. So look, man, I'm glad. I'm really happy for obviously how things are going for us and, you know, where we're taking things. But look, before we sign off, man, and once again, I appreciate your time and coming on. So I know the game's on for you over there, but
first preseason, baby.
Look, man, all I want to know is, for anyone else watching this and that might be thinking, oh, you know, maybe it's not for me, or that's fine for him, but he's different, or anything like that, what would you say to anyone who might be on the fence to not even just working with us, but just letting go of their marketing as a whole?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing, like I said earlier too, that, you know, there's it's something you have to do. And I learned that at a very early stage of my business and building it. And I think sometimes people wait too long to the point of their gyms failing. And then they look at, okay, what do I need to do now? But you've already failed because you're looking at a way too in the future. You know what I mean? So for me, I looked at it day one. Okay, how do I market? How do I pre-sale? How do I open location? Now everything is step by step. So I can just open a third location and say, I know what to do. Here's the implementation of it. Here's step 1 through 10 to open. And then here's 10 through 20 once you're open and to go. So, I mean, with anything in life, you have to take that risk. Not necessarily a risk because, the only thing that you're risking is your money. But in the end, it's going to, it's going to be more beneficial for you in the end anyways. Yeah. So, I mean, as a gym owner, man, you can't do everything yourself. I mean, you can't. I know some guys who run gyms and they're all alone teaching every single day, 50, 60 hours a week of coaching, and it just doesn't work, man. You get burned out, and that's the lifestyle gym owners live. It's early mornings, late nights. So, and if one thing that, I guess I'm confident in is when I drop that email and I go to my email in the morning and I see 4 to 5 leads. Like there's no better feeling than seeing those leads come through on a daily basis and being confident that, okay, boom, get them through the door and I know I'm going to turn them over. The hardest thing is getting new members. For gyms, the retention part of it should be easy because you should be able to retain everybody because of your program design, your development, and showing people results. But the hardest thing for gym owners is to concentrate on driving new leads to the facility in a constant manner. So there's no month that, your leads go dry and no one new shows up. And there's up and down months in fitness. Here in Connecticut, the winters the summers are slow and the winters are better, which most people think it's the opposite. Yeah. So for me to generate 20 leads in a week in the summer months when it should be, dead because people are on vacation, kids are, out of school, it's just different here, is awesome. So, once the new year hits and December and January roll around, then we're really cranking it. So if I'm confident now, I can be so much confident later. So, the biggest thing is, man, you can't do it all on your own, and getting constant leads through your facility every single week is an amazing feeling. It really is.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, look, I appreciate your time, man. I won't take up too much more of it, but thanks for jumping on. And for anyone else, obviously, that is looking out there, by all means, you can either comment below this post because I will be putting this out as an ad, also on the page. But if you have any questions or anything like that, comment below. If you need anything else, send us a message. But thanks heaps for your time, Brandon. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Absolutely, brother, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll chat soon.
All right, brother.
Bye.